Welcome to RCAM. I stay muted because that is my life. um, so today we're going to be talking about TikTok getting banned. So that's happening. And to be honest, I do find myself reveling in it just a little bit, just a little. And we'll also be talking about how men are being shamed for the crime of wanting a son, even if they have like, 5 girls. Still, how dare you? How dare you want your lineage to live on, monster? And we'll also be talking about Joe Rogan's interview with Tucker Carlson, just a segment of that. He talks about aliens, quote unquote aliens, and he suggests that they're supernatural beings. And I tend to agree with his definition. So I we have a lot to talk about. So I'm excited. If you like this stream, like, share, subscribe, do all of the things that helps me grow. Hopefully this time, other than my own my own errors, we won't have any technical issues. Last stream started out great. Actually, I thought I was live the entire 30 minutes after I refreshed, and I was only live to myself because nobody else could see it. So big fail. So I'm actually talking to Rumble, or I sent them a ticket. So hopefully they can get this worked out. Because if this keeps happening, I'm going to have to stop using Rumble Studio because I really like it when it works, but when it doesn't work, I really don't like it, and it's not pleasant. Anyway, so let's first get talk about TikTok. All right. So I will admit that I have a little bit of a personal vendetta against TikTok. So I started out my TikTok account beamy eyed and looking to make a difference and talk about things that I'm passionate about. And it worked. I started growing rapidly. I mean, like followers pouring in. I couldn't believe it. And it was content that was edgy and a lot of people liked it, but a lot of people did not like it. And soon enough, I had the LGBTQ mafia coming at me hard. I mean, going back and like mass reporting my videos, and they launched a coordinated strike to take down my TikTok, and they nearly succeeded. They did get me shadow banned for an entire year, which really upset me because of how rapidly I was growing. So it's like I started out like nothing, and then overnight I was at like 4,000 followers, and then it was like they turned the faucet off, sh- completely locked down my account, and threatened that if I had made violated their community guidelines like one more time, my account would get the axe. So I just played Froggy and I waited for about a year until my account became unbanned, and now I'm sitting at 28K. Now, a lot of people are upset that Biden has signed this TikTok ban. And even with me having 28,000 followers there, I don't care. Ban it. Give them a taste of their own medicine. These people are the worst, most notorious censoring crybabies I've ever seen. Shut them down. And not just that, they are radicalizing people with LGBTQ plus propaganda, and shutting down those people that would remotely say anything is true. You cannot actually make content on TikTok and even allude to something negative about the LGBTQ plus. You can't do it because you will get banned. As soon as someone catches wind, it's like they activate the demon horde to come and attack your channel. So you just gotta, if you want to survive on that platform, you have to play ball. Unfortunately, it just is what it is. I want to show you guys. uh, all right, All right, I'm not gonna lie. I did deserve it a little bit, just a little bit, because I definitely uh I definitely swatted the hornet's nest. I gotta show you this video. I gotta find it. Yeah, yeah. So sometimes I do that. I just don't care, and I accept the consequences of whatever is going to happen. At this point, I didn't fully understand like what I was doing. Um, so when I started getting banned rapidly, I was a little bummed, but um, there were videos afterwards that I made that I just didn't care. I took the hits. Sometimes it's worth it just to take the hits. Dang, I cannot find this video. Like it's my favorite satirical video I made. Oh man, 1 second, guys. Just be patient. Sometimes I do like the search in Twitter, and it doesn't work out quite the way that I want it to. Well, I guess I'm not going to be able to find this thing. It's lost in the ether of all my content. But anyway, I did upset them by making a joke against those transgenders or trannies. And you're not even allowed to even on Twitter, you can't say trannies. You're not allowed to say it. So even they have a problem with censorship because you can't say trannies. Why? Why can't I talk about in a briefly working on my car's transmission? Why can't I do that? It's a crime against humanity. You can't even talk about auto body parts on Twitter. And this is supposed to be the free speech platform. So obviously you can't talk about it on TikTok because you will get banned. So let's get into this first story, though. All right. Biden just signed a potential TikTok ban into law. Here's what happens next. President Joe Biden signed a bill Wednesday that could lead to a nationwide TikTok ban, escalating a massive threat to the company's U.S. operations. Congress had passed the bill this week as part of a wide-ranging foreign aid package. Yeah. So this is how they got it passed too. They slipped it into Israel and Ukraine aid. Like we need to be sending them more money. They're such they're such dishonest, deceptive snakes. So it does give me like, what are you really doing here? Because if you had to slip it in, sneak it in, I imagine there's probably not good stuff in this. So it was approved by the House on Saturday, by the Senate on Tuesday. The legislation poses the most serious risk to TikTok since U.S. officials began raising concerns about the app in 2020. Under what is now U.S. law, TikTok is forced to find a new owner within months or be banned from the United States entirely. Let's go. I want them banned. But realistically, they are probably going to find a way around this somehow. So they get into how it affects us. What does the TikTok legislation do? The bill gives that Biden signed gives TikTok Chinese parent ByteDance 270 days to sell TikTok. Failure to do so would lead to significant consequences. TikTok would be prohibited from U.S. app stores and from internet hosting services that support it. But there's ways for them to kind of circumvent this. So it does seem like people would still have access to TikTok. They just maybe would not have access to download the app, but maybe you could go to the website directly and use it. So that would effectively restrict new downloads on the app and interaction with its content. Biden signed that bill on Wednesday, puts the deadline for a sale at January 19th, 2025. However, Biden could extend the deadline another 90 days if he determines the company has made progress toward the sale, giving TikTok potentially up to a year before facing a ban. What is TikTok saying? TikTok is threatening legal action to oppose the law. In a video posted to TikTok, company CEO Xiao Chu told users, "Rest assured, we aren't going anywhere." I believe them. I believe they're not going anywhere. "We are confident and we will keep fighting for your rights in courts." Yes, we will fight for our right to feed you CCP propaganda. we will not stop corrupting your kids and transing them. We They realize how powerful this platform actually is. There's actually, I don't think I have the tweet pulled up, but there's actually a tweet basically talking about selling TikTok, but not the algorithm. So like selling them basically like a bare bones platform, but not the algorithm. And you want to know why they don't want to sell the algorithm? Because that's their bread and butter. I mean, that will expose how they are actually manipulating the platform to psyop the masses. It'll expose their propaganda machine and how they're essentially mind controlling the youth. Uh, J Lucas 90 writes, "I hope Rumble gets TikTok. Probably a pipe dream though. That would be really cool. That would be amazing. You know, either Rumble or even X. You know, I would take either or because that would be a massive win. That would return power. And I was listening to Tim Pool talk about this a little bit on his show yesterday, and his biggest argument is that by doing this, we actually have like obviously if a big tech company buys this, they're like if it's not Rumble or X, they're going to end up censoring. That just is what it is. But at least if it's a U.S. based company, we have legal recourse to challenge them. Where we can't do anything about the Chinese Communist Party. What are we going to do? We can't do a damn thing. They're in China. How China? We can't do anything about them. So yeah, it is a much better move to have it controlled by the enemy we know rather than the enemy that we do not know. And at least we'd have some legal recourse. This reveals how this ended up in a bill about foreign aid. So a similar TikTok bill had been passed by the House in March, but it stalled in the Senate. In a procedural move, House Republicans this month attached a revised TikTok bill to the foreign aid package in hopes of forcing the Senate to vote on the TikTok legislation and sneak things in, bundling the bill with foreign aid at a top U.S. priority. Yes, foreign aid is a top U.S. priority. We know that no matter if you want something passed, just sneak it into a U.S. foreign aid bill because it's happening. Just write your wish list, sneak it in there, and it'll definitely get passed because these people love sending our tax dollars to Ukraine and Israel. They love it. They want to give them all of our money, the money that you work hard for, and then they want to sneak TikTok bans in under that legislation. All right. What does this mean for my use of app? You're not going to be able to do it. What are TikTok's options? So TikTok promised to take the U.S. government to court if Biden signed the bill. What case what do they have? In a memo on Saturday, a top TikTok executive wrote that employees that this would be the beginning, not the end, of a long process to challenge what the company calls an unconstitutional legislation that censors Americans. You're not American. CCP isn't American. We just want America to own it. We want an American company to have access to the propaganda, which I do think is still a little bit better. Not by much, but still a little bit better. Does TikTok have a case? First Amendment experts say that a bill that has the ultimate effect of censoring TikTok users could be shot down by the courts. Yeah, it could. And then there's some people that are like, oh, it's going to destroy their livelihood. You're not making content on other apps? Come on. TikTok is not the only game in town. So, it'd be one thing if they monopolized, they were a monopoly and there was no other game in town. But that would actually be more of an incentive for them to be banned. But there's other platforms. We have YouTube. They do shorts. We have Instagram. They do shorts. We also have, nobody knows about this app. And you don't know about the app because of its name. All right. There is a competitor to TikTok, not really a competitor, but they do the same thing. It's copy and paste what TikTok does, and the name is so. This is why they don't have any users because of the name. All right. So here's the reveal for the name. The app is called Clapper. I'm not kidding. I'm not kidding. They name their app Clapper, and they wonder why people aren't using it. Literally, all they have to do is name it anything else. But Clapper, like I feel like I'm logging in to use a venereal disease. That's what it sounds like. So yeah, they got to change their name, and they would have much more success. But it's yeah, it's a major L. So but there are other options. So just one more thing. The Daily Wire reports Chinese company ByteDance appears to ignore threats of U.S. ban, says it has no plans to sell TikTok. So yeah, they're going to try to circumvent the law in any way that they can, so that they can keep their propaganda machine. And it should be really telling that they don't, that they're fighting to keep their power over us, and us as a country. Like, we should not want foreign companies controlling our information. You don't even have to be a foreign. I don't know really much about foreign policy. I'll just be real. But I do know that doesn't sound good. Let me give my enemies a tool that can significantly alter the people's minds and control them. That it doesn't seem like a very good idea to me. Seems like you're asking for problems when you do that, and we have them. This is why transgenderism in part is a social contagion. It's spread through that app as well as YouTube. I'm not going to let them off the hook. YouTube's also bad, but yeah, it spreads, and you're able to curate content, and the algorithm targets you, and then you're fed this content. I'm not going to do this right now, but I could probably go on TikTok right now. I don't know if you guys have ever scrolled through their live section. Horrifying list. I've been like, I'll scroll through. Maybe I could just do this real quick on my phone. I'll scroll through the live section for just a little bit of time, and I'll come across basically satanic content or trans content, and I don't have to be doing it very long, because that's just the way their algorithm works. They just feed you this complete and total garbage. It looks like I have successfully tweaked my algorithm so that I'm not fed this trash anymore. Oh, no. Wrong. Look, I think that was like my 6th scroll. I'm getting this demonic nonsense fed to me. And that's 90% of TikTok's algorithm. They have this demonic trans weirdness in their algorithm that they're feeding to kids, and innocently scrolling through, and then suddenly hit with a tranny, hit with a Satanist, hit with a non-binary ferret. You get all these weirdos, and now they have a platform, and now they're normalizing what would have been a freak show in the 90s, except it's reality and it's scary, and people want you to affirm those identities. So very weird. All right, let's get into this next story. And this one I took a little bit personal. Actually, I took the TikTok thing. A lot of personal things right now. A lot of things that have incited anger. And this next thing, I think, is really annoyed me. So we have this woman, Lissy Swanhart. And she said, "We get it, those poor girls." Now, I will give them this. All right, so this guy saying, "I want a son," and he has 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 girls. And then he's praying for a son. And then he's begging his wife for a son. So this is like their thing. "My husband grew up with 7 brothers and always wanted a son." So we get it. The man really wants a son. And good news is that he finally got his son. and he said, "I need backup when you all start PMSing." That is a little funny, but there's some problems here. All right, so him wanting a son, that's not the problem. Although these people make it the problem, that's not actually the problem. The problem is that he is using his family for social media clout. Not good. Don't do that. Probably a bad idea. Also, this man is wearing Crocs. No, I'm not going to judge him. But the only all right. So here's the rule for Crocs. All right, you're only as a man. All right, you're only allowed to wear them as slippers in your house. That's it. You can't wear them outside. Illegal. Straight to jail if you're caught doing that. But in your house, it's permissible. So if I had a criticism of the guy, though, it's not him wanting a son. It's him posting about it on social media and making content out of it. Like, all right, don't do that. Come on. All right, but let's read some of these comments. All right, because people, this woman clearly has a problem, and she thinks she's feeling bad for the girls because God forbid, after 5 girls, the dad might want a son. What's the problem? I don't understand. All right. Oh, what's this one? How many extra little mamas does your baby have? Oh, that's cute. I mean, the girls are going to help out with the boy. What's the problem with that? Oh, I know. He's teaching them to be good mothers. Dang. I guess that's not okay with feminists. How dare he? How dare he want his daughters to, I don't know, learn to be good mothers? Stupid. He should be teaching them, girl, you don't need a man. You need to go be a girl boss at a Fortune 500 company. That's what he should be teaching them early on. And to protest and to to hate men. That's the right message. No, God forbid he wants them to learn about motherhood and taking care of a child. Stupid. All right. So this person writes, and if he gets a son, he'll probably neglect all of his girls. Why would you assume he would do that? What? No, no. I don't see any reason why he would do that. There's nothing wrong with him wanting a son, a boy to do some stuff with. Doesn't mean he's going to neglect his girls. Doesn't mean he's going to be a bad father. Doesn't mean he's going to love them any less. Does mean that he's going to also have a relationship with his son. Like they don't make that criticism about any of the girls. Well, if he wants another girl, then he's going to love the rest of his girls less. Dumb. Oh, cool. Looks like my stream just got rated. That's cool. Awesome. Welcome, y'all. So now this woman's lamenting the fact that he did get a son. Oh no, the horror. He finally got something that he desired. I hope the universe spites him and he never has a son. Oh my, what? Why? Like, what is wrong with the guy wanting a son? And another criticism I've seen is like people are like, that he's going to neglect his daughter. Who says he's going? Why? I don't understand. That doesn't make any sense. So this person said, vile people monetizing their kids while telling the internet they aren't good enough. I do think it's wrong to monetize your kids. Valid criticism there. Hey, Taylor, you're the MVP, bro. I appreciate the raid. That is dope. That's sick. I gotta learn to do this. I don't even know how to do it, but I want to do it because that sounds dope. It's giving we're having kids until you give me a boy energy. What so? I mean, me personally, I want a boy. I will probably be done after this next kid just because I don't unless my life takes a financial turn and my wife can be like a full-time stay-at-home mom. I'm probably going to tap out if we don't get a boy next. We'll see. Maybe we'll go for the 4. We got to talk about it. But It's not wrong or weird or strange for a man to want a son. It's not weird or strange for a woman to want a daughter. Um, you typically want, you know, want somebody that, you can have this special type of bond with. And there are just things that I can do with my son that I will not be able to do with my daughter. I have to scale back a little bit with my daughter. She's fragile, so it's not like I can't wrestle her. I can a little bit, but I gotta chill. I can hurt her. And with boys, man, they're just built a little bit differently. And life is a little bit differently, so or different for them. So, and I'm gonna say something scandalous, but gender differences, they do exist. They do, and there's no shame in acknowledging that. That's truth. That's reality. And if you don't like it, tough. Uh, Dudes got to learn that they're the ones throwing out girls. I feel the girls. He's just like my dad. They all look happy. I don't understand this. And what makes people think that the girls don't want a brother? I asked my daughter earlier. I said, "Hey, baby, would you want a boy or a girl next?" And she said, "A boy, a boy." And she was super excited about it. And she even had a name that she wanted to call him, and she was excited about it. She wants a boy. I guess she's horrible and hates herself, really. But this is how these people are, and I just think it's ridiculous. I think it's ridiculous. There's no shame if you're a man, all right, and you've had a couple girls, or even if you had no girls and you want a boy, that's fine. There's nothing wrong with having a preference. Now, I will say it becomes wrong if you throw that in your daughter's face. Like, I wish you were a boy. Yeah, that you're a terrible human being. But I suspect he's probably not doing that, and most girl dads are not doing that. My best friend, my closest friend, girl dad, I don't think he's ever going to his girls and be like, "Dang, I wish I had a boy." I don't think he's doing that. And I think the real reason that these harpies are upset about this is because they actually hate men. Like, they hate the thought of more men being in the world. So they want to shame this man for desiring a son because they hate men. They don't want them to exist. Because if this were the other way around, I have no doubt they would be like, "Oh, it's all right. You'll have a girl one day. It's okay. Yeah, they wouldn't be shaming the woman for this, but they certainly have no problem shaming the man for wanting a son. I think it's ridiculous. So, yeah, I that bothered me. Oh, one more criticism I want to make of the man, the guy in this, is that you don't beg your wife to give you a boy. Like, what can she do? She's not like, "Oh, all right. I'll get right on that." No, you pray. You ask the Lord. And if the Lord wants you to have a son, he will give you a son. It's as simple as that. And if he doesn't give you a son, uh, it is what it is. It doesn't mean, that you shouldn't love the kids that he gave you. Love them, obviously, and that's fine. If I had another kid and it turned out to be a girl, I'm not going to be mad about it. uh I'll accept it and I'll love them just as much as I love my girls, man. And if I could go back in time and get a boy instead of one of my girls, I wouldn't take that deal because I love my girls. I love them. They're amazing. I mean, amazing. Amazing kids. So I'm very grateful. But would I like a son? Yeah, sure, of course. Why wouldn't I? That's my family line. If I don't have a son, my family name dies. So it's pretty important to me. And I am traditional. I don't want my girls trying to take have their husbands take their last name because I would lose respect for their husbands. Like, what kind of man are you? No, uh, no, be a man. She takes your last name, and I would respect it. Actually, they wouldn't get married after that because I'd just be like, you can't marry this guy. He's he's a squish. He has no cojones. All right. Kai writes, oh, Gussie Wussy, funny, funny name. From chill Minecraft to telling idiots on X that they are idiots. Yes. I enjoy pointing out the idiotry of X. Cly writes, "Hey, favorite commentator on crazy culture headline news. Hey. All right, yes, sir." Cly writes, "God knew them before he formed them in the womb." Yeah, 100%. He did. And I believe every child is a blessing, and I believe that God can work through every child. And but I do also think at the same time there's no shame in wanting uh, a son, or a daughter. It's fine. It's not something that we need to get mad at people. And other people that treat it like these girls are going to suffer trauma. Oh, and a dad can never express that he wanted a daughter, or they're going to suffer trauma. Grow up. They're not going to be traumatized. Chances are they probably want a brother too. So yeah, I had to comment on this because it just annoyed me, man. This guy getting dragged just for the crime of wanting a companion and a son. I just think it's ridiculous. All right, so moving on to the next story, we're going to be talking about Tucker Carlson and his interview with Joe Rogan, which, by the way, it received a lot of criticism, especially from people that I like. The Daily Wire made some jabs at him because I guess he questioned 9/11 and talked about UFOs and not the standard talking points that most of the GOP talk about. So we'll play this clip and then we'll discuss a little bit. All right. So Tucker Carlson talks about aliens on the Joe Rogan Experience. They're spiritual entities. They're supernatural. They've been here a long time, and there's tons of evidence that they're under the ocean and under the ground. So he is actually hitting like a conspiracy that is not mainstream. Like this is like a conspiracy where you have to peel a layer of conspiracy off of another conspiracy to get here. Where I've only seen maybe like two people ever talk about this. So I actually think it's great because I actually believe a lot of what he's talking about. And I'm not a crazy conspiracy theorist. I believe what the Bible says and try to think rationally. All right. So let's play this. And let me know, guys, if there's any issues with the audio.
So they're from here and they've been here for thousands of years, whatever they are. And it's pretty clear to me that they're spiritual entities, whatever that means. They're supernatural, and which is to say, supernatural means above the natural, above the observable nature. And they don't behave according to the laws of science as measured by people, and they've been here for a long time. And there's a ton of evidence they're under the ocean and under the ground. So like with that fact set, what do you conclude? So they're from here and they've been here for thousands of years, whatever they are. And it's pretty clear to me that they're spiritual entities, whatever that means. They're supernatural, and which is to say, supernatural means above the natural.
All right. So it makes a lot of sense there. So a lot of people, so he actually believes what I believe about aliens. All right. So I believe that aliens are basically angels or fallen angels. That's the most logical explanation that is in line with the Bible. All right. The Bible doesn't talk about little green spacemen that invade. They talk about aliens. They talk about extraterrestrial. He actually even quoted something I believe in Ezekiel talking about flying machines. So or a wheel spinning in the sky, which he alludes to being a reference to aliens, which I think is mind blowing. But there are other civilizations too that record flying machines, like thousands of years before we've even seen this technology in play. So it's not unreasonable for, like if you imagine an alien, well, what do you think of an alien? It's an otherworldly being. Well, what is an angel? It's an otherworldly being with supernatural capabilities. And who's to say that they don't have like advanced technology that's unlike anything that we've ever experienced? Of course, they've been around thousands of years. Why wouldn't they? So yeah, that makes perfect sense, and he's getting dragged for this idea, and I think it's ridiculous. I think he's made a pretty profound observation that probably makes a lot of people uncomfortable, and I think it is a pretty reasonable explanation because here's my theory, right? So it could be I don't believe in aliens. I don't believe there's aliens. I believe that the two explanations for UAPs, in my opinion, are either they are fallen angels, that's possibility number one, or they are sophisticated holograms that are being used. We have that technology. I think it makes sense to trick people with these events. You know, we've seen them have holographic Tupac and animated characters. Why could they not? And that would explain to you the way that they move is weird, and they like basically teleport. Like that seems like a pretty reasonable explanation to me. I don't know if you guys think differently, but that seems to make sense and is consistent with a biblical worldview. There are some people that have even crazier theories, like they actually have there's a YouTuber. Like if you want like the conspiracies in line with what the Bible is, you gotta follow this YouTuber. His name is his YouTube channel is Kingdom in Context, and he talks about a lot of this, a lot of this stuff that Tucker talks about, but in significant more detail. He talks about how he believes that there is a city in the sky and that they have cloaking devices. I know it sounds far fetched, right? I'm just saying, like if you want to go down this rabbit hole and you even want something, just interesting, just to get your wheels turning. He talks about this city in the sky that has these cloaking devices, which, believe it or not, like we can make cloaking devices with stuff we can go get at Home Depot. So it's not that hard to do. So if there is an advanced supernatural civilization, why wouldn't they have that stuff? Why wouldn't they? Yeah, there you can also make things float by using magnets and God, there's another material, but you can make like floating discs that's suspended midair. So what's to stop somebody from scaling that up? So these are just crazy little out there ideas. I'm not going to pretend they aren't, but they are fascinating. So I definitely recommend checking him out. Taylor writes, "Oh, I've heard of him. He's based on it. Yeah, he is. He's a cool guy, real down to earth, even though he's into all this. And he makes really good content." Taylor writes, "I don't believe in aliens either. Me either. Nope, I don't. I would believe that the government is deceiving us before I believe that, or they are fallen angels. So I think those are the two most likely scenarios, and I think Tucker is onto something. I really do. So yeah, I thought that was good. All right, let's see what is next on the docket. I want. So I meant to cover this yesterday in my stream that got cut off, but I do think it's still relevant, and I want to talk about it today because it's one of those. It's one of those videos I watch, and I'm just like, help us. And I would say also, this is why TikTok needs to be banned. All right, I'm sure you guys have seen this video, or some of you have seen this video making the rounds. This song is currently going viral on TikTok.
I don't wanna contribute nothing to society. I don't struggle, I don't hustle. If you want it, you can have it. Sorry, I wasn't going to work. No, I wasn't going to work. I'm too pretty to get dirty. Yeah, I said that you can sue me. Don't wanna lift a finger.
For the money, for the money.
I don't want.
Well, if you don't lift a finger, you're not going to get any money. In fact, if you don't lift a finger, you don't deserve to eat. Sorry, you don't. The Bible talks about a man who doesn't work and doesn't deserve to eat. He also talks about a man who doesn't provide for his family is worse than an unbeliever. So you can't expect to not want to contribute to society, and then also expect handouts, which I suspect this guy wants. 1 second, guys. So that was my daughter coming to tell me that she loves the movie We're Back, A Dinosaur Story. And it's such a good movie. Do you guys remember that movie? Fantastic movie. I saw it was shared on Twitter today. Somebody was reminiscing about it. I was like, yeah, my daughter needs to watch that movie because it is great. So yeah, she just got done finishing watching that movie and she loves it. she came in to tell me that she loved it. So one of those things that as a father, when your kid likes the movies that you liked, it's just a proud papa moment. Anyway, unlike this guy where his dad's probably disappointed in him because he's a loser and doesn't want to contribute to society, and I don't get the mentality. I don't struggle, I don't hustle. If you want to have it, part of being a human being, and maybe some of you guys have heard this, I don't know, but part of being a human being actually means struggling. That's part of the human experience. It builds character. And we will not live in a society where there is zero struggle. It's just a fantasy. It's never going to happen. And a human being that doesn't work, that isn't creating something with his own hands, is a human being that's ultimately going to find himself in a bad spot because we were actually made to work. But that's one of the first things that God tasked Adam to do is care for the garden, to work. And it's one of those things that is consistent throughout Scripture. And the Bible talks about poverty and what happens if you're idle and you're not doing anything. And it's not good. It's not good for the human spirit. And if you don't work and you don't want to work, guess what else is going to happen? You're going to get replaced. You're not even going to be able to get entry-level jobs. I'm going to show you this this video that was making the rounds because I talk about AI a lot. I talk about automation a lot, and I think these are threats that a lot of people are just not taking seriously. And you better start taking them seriously because, well, one, first, at least you have the assurance of knowing that these people that don't want to work are going to be the first ones that are negatively impacted. But it'll eventually come to for the people that are hard workers, unfortunately. And that's the real concern. Taylor writes, if a man does not work, he shall not eat. Absolutely right. You don't deserve to eat. You don't even deserve to be housed. Like there's something visceral in me when I see men unwilling to work. Like there is nothing I find more off-putting than a lazy man. And also too, if you want to get a good woman, you don't like men. And she'll come to resent you. Like it's loser behavior. So if you want to grow as a man, work hard. Do everything unto God. Serve God with your whole heart, your whole mind, your whole being. Like you think of the parable of the talents. God was furious at the guy that buried his talent and did nothing with it. God gave you gifts. Use it. Multiply them. Turn them into something for the betterment of his kingdom. All right, let's play this video. I want to see it again. All right. This is a fully automated AI experience at Wendy's.
Welcome to Wendy's. What would you like?
Can I have a chocolate frosty?
Which size for the chocolate frosty?
Medium.
Can I get you anything else today?
No, thank you.
Great. Please pull up to the next window.
There's your $20 an hour being taken by AI robots. It's happening, guys. The machines are here. They are taking your jobs, and they're going to be taking more of them. It's going to start with entry level jobs like this one, and it's going to advance into more sophisticated jobs where eventually we have fully automated trucks that are driving themselves, loading themselves, and being offloaded by robots. Soon you're going to have humanoid robots that can do sophisticated tasks. I've already seen a video of a robot that is able to organize fruit and empty garbage and do all of these tasks that require fine motor skills. So a lot of people are like, oh well, they're just entry level jobs. Yeah, for now, it's not. It's going to advance more and more, and they're going to take the more advanced jobs, and people are going to be in trouble. And the first casualty will be these fools on TikTok that had been convinced that they don't need to work and are singing these stupid songs because Chinese propaganda has infected their minds with the woke mind virus. And it needs to change. So one, I hope TikTok gets banned because it's creating drones like that guy that we just seen. Two, we need to encourage men to work because that's where a man finds his meaning and purpose. Even if you work a job that you don't necessarily like, it still will give you purpose and meaning. You still have a reason to get up every day because people are depending on you, and especially if you have a family, man. Like I'll be fully transparent. I'm not crazy about my job. I'm in cybersecurity. It's not my dream. I'll just put it that way. But you want to know what? I go there every day. I do my job, and I can do it with joy in my heart because I know that I am being a provider for my family. I know that my family depends on me and depends on the work that I do. So I take that work very seriously. And I think that's where men find their meaning. And this is why so many men are living meaningless lives because they don't want to work. They refuse to work. And then obviously there are going to be men that don't have meaning. Also, too, like if you're a single guy and you want to meet women, maybe work might be actually a good option. Maybe explore a place that maybe is a little bit more female oriented. Maybe I might meet a spouse or something. Lots of people meet in the workplace. So yeah, maybe that's an avenue. Taylor writes, facts again. Just trying, bro. But I am really this type of stuff does bother me because I don't want to see young people without a hope and a future. I don't want to see young people dependent on the government for assistance. Like we need to depend on the government less. We need them less involved in our lives. And this is AI automation not working is paving the pathway for like universal basic income. My fear is that these people will give up on life and plug themselves in the matrix and marry an AI girlfriend. That is a legitimate concern, and it's coming faster than you can imagine. So we need to kind of get ahead of it. We need to inspire young men to get back into work hard, build something with their hands. If they don't like working for a company, that's fine. There's plenty of options. And right now is probably the best time to start building skills before AI comes along in 10 years and takes all your jobs. So right now, put in that work, grind hard, position yourself in a way that you're going to be able to build wealth and help your family and trust God along the way and pray, maybe Jesus comes back before the AI takes over everything and destroys our lives, because it's looking more and more like a reality every day. So I think that's it for today. Good stream, great stream. We have a handful of people watching and listening. I appreciate you guys. I really do. This stream actually went way better than the last one. I didn't run into any technical issues other than muting myself in the very beginning. So thank you guys. If you like this content, please subscribe, follow. Let me hear from you. I want to hear from you. Do you think that AI is going to destroy all of civilization? Do you believe that aliens are really angels? Do you believe that dad was a total jerk for having the audacity to want a son and that feminists are crazy? I do think they're crazy. and demonic. And do you believe that selling TikTok is a win for America? I do. I certainly do. Anyway, you guys have yourself a blessed night, and I will be back tomorrow. Deuces.